just sitting down to edit this video, and it was supposed to be, I recorded it last month. I was supposed to put it out last month, but with everything that's been going on, I just hadn't got around to it. So in this video, I don't know if it's going to seem all put together or what. I'm a bit scatterbrained and probably forgot something or whatever. But if you've got questions or wanting something answered, just put it in the comments. And if you would like and hit the subscribe button, that would be a wee bit magical as well. But I'll let you get into this video. Hi. Before I start, I'd like to give a warning that it's going to be on a topic that can scare some people. Especially first time mums. So I don't want to scare anybody. I just want to tell what happened to me. So basically this is about my birth story, my son. And I've got to tell you that I was having a wee boy, because I was still trying to not be sick when I was pregnant. But I had my boy at 29 weeks in 2 days. And it was scary for me, and this is my third child. And it was really scary for me. So I don't want you to be afraid of what I'm going to tell you right now. But this is what happened. I was planning to tell you the birth story of my first son and my daughter, but I never even got round to doing that. I never even got round to doing like a hospital bag. I wasn't even ready for anything. So we'll start at the beginning, and I'll tell you what happened, and then I'll tell you what my mind's gone through just now. Right. What's today's date? I'll find the tablet. It's 1 o'clock in the morning on the 28th of August. So that means my son has been born for a full month. Because he was born on the 28th of July 2001. So it was the day before that I had a routine midwife appointment. So this might be a wee bit graphic, not graphic, but TMI much for some folk, but this is what in the morning, because it's a midwife appointment, you always have to take a urine sample way today kind of things. So done that, got up, went to my appointment, got there and had a wee bit of high blood pressure. And then when you're at your appointment, they do a urine test kind of thing. They check to see if there's stuff in your urine that shouldn't be there, and they find protein in your urine. So basically, you should have that there. It means your kidneys are now working right. I think that's what they said to me. So my midwife advised me, and then she advised me that I should go to the hospital. She phoned up to confirm that that's what they were wanting me to do. So I went up to the hospital back one, because obviously I was expecting that to be going up to the hospital, so I had to get babysitter for little miss, and it's just some old sleepy man's no way anywhere, but the wee man was off school, so that's had to get babysitters there, because I had to get my mum to take me up to the hospital. And John came with me to the hospital. Obviously mum was nearly in because we were COVID and all this, and so mum had to sit outside while I was getting examined in the hospital, and they said that basically they had to keep on checking my blood pressure because it kept on going up and down and up and down. And I done their urine sample when I was at the hospital, and they still had protein in my urine, so I had to be monitored. And it took all day, and I was getting frustrated, really frustrated. Like, for walking back and forward from one side of the room to the other, because I was only expecting, because my last pregnancy, I knew if you had stuff in your urine, that you had to wait until that was clear before you can leave the hospital. And that's what happened when I was pregnant with Paige. So I knew I'd be in for like, say, roughly 4 hours, but this was just getting beyond a joke. I hadn't even told anything. So hospital for one, and about say 7, 8 o'clock at night, that's when I got told that was kept in. And I hadn't even brought my bag, hospital bag with me or anything, because I was not expecting to be kept in. So after that, I got took upstairs. John went home, kept on getting high blood pressure, so they were giving me blood pressure tablets, which took my blood pressure down, and then the next time they came to check my blood pressure, it was back up again. So done that a couple of times, and then they're like, we're going to give you steroids to help drain the lungs, just in case in a couple of weeks time. In a couple of weeks time he needs to come out. I mean, like in the next 2 or 3 weeks, because his lungs hadn't matured yet. So I got that at 4 o'clock in the morning. But by this time, I got that, went for sleep, up at 6, and I realised that his movements had changed at night. His movements were where it's big kicks at night, whereas I don't feel much during the day because he's probably sleeping. But this time it wasn't the kicks that I was feeling. It was like he was squirming. Like, see if you how to describe it. It's like stretching the he's rolling and he's stretching my skin. That's the kind of thing that I was feeling. But I was feeling kicks, so I tell the midwife this, and they weren't too happy about that. So they wanted to put me on a monitor for Wayne's heart. So put this monitor on me, and they had to actually sit. One midwife had to actually sit in my bed and press this monitor in, because every time she took her phone off, they couldn't find the heartbeat. It wasn't that they couldn't find it, it just disappeared. So when she pressed on it, they could hear it. But they weren't happy that that's what they had to do, so excuse me. They had to take me down to labour and delivery, because there's a midwife there that could constantly hold the monitor on to me, instead of the midwives upstairs that are rushing about doing things for other folk. So just getting monitored a wee bit more closely, and my blood pressure kept on going up and down throughout this. So got down, and it would, the heartbeat kept on disappearing or whatever they were saying. So they weren't happy with it, and the doctor was like, no, we're going to be delivering Wayne by C-section. So that was scary to hear that. So I asked if they could phone John for him to come up to the hospital for this. They phoned him from my phone, and he was actually at the midwife feeding Paige and John, because it was about lunchtime at this point. But he says he heard me greeting and he was straight up. But while my mum was trying to get up to the hospital, they were giving me a kind of, I don't know what it is. I think it was more steroids or something, because you have to take 2 doses of steroids, but you have to be 24 hours apart or something like that to mature the lungs and everything. So they gave me this medicine, and it was basically it was for the Wayne and no for me. That they give it to women that are got preeclampsia. That's basically what it all sums up to. They said I thought I had preeclampsia, and if I'm getting the names wrong here, but I'm sorry. So that's what they were doing. And it was weird, because it made you really, really warm. So I had these midwives run about me with, it was like towels, no like cotton towels, like an actual paper towel, like hand towel, like stuff, wrapped, ice wrapped it with it, I had all stuck put all over me to cool me down, and face cloth on my head and all that kind of stuff. And this, it made you feel like you wanted to be sick, but no, it was like saliva was gathering in your mouth and everything because of this heat. So I was getting that. When they stopped giving me that, they were reeling me into theatre, operating room, whatever you want to call it. But I threw up midway there. Yes. Got in and they're had to get all my consent and everything for epidural and all that kind of stuff, and got there, they picked me up, sitting up, hunched over, and they picked my epidural in, and all I did was say sorry to everybody and anybody. Sorry because I was sitting there greeting, sorry because I was throwing up with people, sorry because I felt like I wasn't doing things right. And they were saying, you're going to be the sorry lassie. I got my epidural in, and then I lay down, and it was weird. Lay down, and they had this table that tilted. It was like a roller coaster kind of thing, and it tilted every way, all the way. So they were spraying my side with this cold stuff, and if I felt it, the epidural was there as far as they wanted it, because they want it all the way up to either just above your boobs or just below it, so that basically you don't feel getting cut into. And I looked up and there's John in these scrubs and a mask, and it's just so surreal. Even thinking about it now. So I got all numbed up. They basically opened up to get the way in, and they found out that he had done a poo in his walls, basically, and that my placenta was abnormal to them, so they sent that off. I've not got any information about that since that happened. But they said to me that he was lying a bit funny, so my C-section scar along my belly is like that, and then they've got a wee bit that comes up off my C-section, not on the outside, like you can't see it on the outside, but on the inside there's a wee bit that goes up that way, and they had to cut up that bit to get him out, basically. So he got rushed for oxygen and things like that. I got to see him for like 2 wee minutes. Held his wee on. It was so wee. But it was never did the oxygen straight away. But when they took him through to ICU, he had to be put onto high flow oxygen. Basically, it's a wee mask that they put over his nose that forces oxygen into his system, and then they have to put a tube down his throat for basically to be get fed through. I got stitched up and everything, and I can move for a good wheel. I can get gone to see him for a till later that night because he was born at 15:57, I think it was. See, I'm bad at times and all the rest of it, but I know it's 15 something. I've the same with my other twins. So John was nailed up to the ward with me because of the COVID. So he went to see the rain for a while and then went home. Then I later on that night I managed to get down to see him. They had to, they said they might have been had to put him onto a tube for the oxygen, but they hadn't got to that stage yet. But that all changed the next morning when I went down, because he had to get oxygen into his lungs. So he was on a tube for oxygen for two, I think it was 2, 3, it just all blended in after this. I think it was just for 2 or 3 days. But while he was on that, they said he had jaundice, so they had to put big blue light over him, try and get jaundice away. But he was quite happy to be there, to be all wired up and everything. He was kicking and moving his arms, trying to pull things out. So after that couple of days with the tube for oxygen, they put him back onto the high flow oxygen mask where it's just over the nose. And then that started making his wee nose all sore. But he came off that a couple of days later. So basically a full week, and then he was off the high flow oxygen and put onto lower flow stuff. So he was just put on a wee oxygen nose thing. Basically the average oxygen strip nose thing that you go if your braces. But he's doing good. So he was in the ICU for 2 weeks, and then he was put into special care the last 2 weeks there, and he was off oxygen when I got put in there, like off oxygen altogether, but they put the oxygen back on because his feet have been put up to a bigger amount, So when he's eating, well, basically when he's getting tube fed, his stomach's taking up the room for his lungs, and it's a wee bit harder for him to breathe. So he's having a wee field day with his nurses, where he's breathing, his oxygen's going high 1 minute and then low the next minute, because I have to keep on changing his oxygen, how much oxygen he gets. All the nurses love him because he doesn't he sleeps most of the time, but that's mother two Waynes as well. That's what they've done. We're not to get our hopes up that we'll get him any quicker than his actual due date. His actual due date was October the 12th, and he decided to come along 3 months early. Aye. So it's scary. Scary how fast it goes. So let's talk about how he's fed, because when I had him full term, I would have been feeding a bottle, and it would have been formula feeding it, because my anxiety and all that for trying to figure out if he's getting fed enough or if he's. So I was thinking him doing the breastfeeding stuff, and then when we had him, we got told you have to sign this form in case if you're not doing breastfeeding, because it needs to have breast milk instead of formula, because formula's no good for the Wayne's stomach now because he's premature. So when I found that out, I was like, I can express milk. So that's what I'm doing. I express milk for him. He was getting a bit of my breast milk, a bit of O'Donnell's breast milk, and whatever medicine and everything that was getting mixed in it. About, say, a couple of weeks after, a week, 2 weeks after, a week and a half after he was born, they started putting slight formula in it, but it was to put weight on, so like to put fat on him basically. Now the Dora milk's been took out, it's just my milk and this other, I can't remember the name of the milk or whatever it is, to just fatten him up. This week he's just been changed from an incubator to a cot, so he's not on like a band-aid bubble, like it looks like a bubble basically, you know. So he's into just a cot now, and he gets to be able to have clothes on and things like that now, because when he was in his incubator he couldn't have clothes on because that was like, it was to keep him warm and things like that in there. So it was already warm enough in there without his clothes on, and when he was in there he still had like wee leads and everything all attached to him for like heart rate and monitors and all that kind of stuff. But now he's not got any of that on. The only thing he's got on now is his wee oxygen thing, his feeding tube. They've moved it from down the mouth to down the back of the nose. and he's got a wee monitor that's on the back of his foot that monitors his blood oxygen level. So, and it was yesterday, it was the day before, he had his eyes tested and they're perfectly fine. So they're all happy with that. And his feeds have been put up to, I think they said 36 mil. So he's getting half and half, whatever. So you can say that I really wasn't expecting it. I thought I had an air month, 2 months and a half, 2 months to go. Because I was expecting to have them early, just no this early. And we were feeling sick and everything. I've not been cooking for my family or anything like that. It's just I've not been doing any of the stuff that I normally do. But this month's been hard. I feel like it feels weird coming home from the hospital and not having the pain that you had come home with you. So just now, me and John we're up at the hospital every day, which is costing a bloody fortune as well, but I wouldn't have it any other way. John's leaving, well, John's still working at the weekend. He doesn't want to take any holidays until we know that we're getting him home. We hadn't even bought any clothes for him. I think we bought one outfit, and it was a wee Batman outfit for him. And we bought him a Moses basket. I've not got to stand for it, but it's still just got the Moses basket. We already had the buggy and pram and car seat and all that, because I just kept the in that was for Paige. Paige is in a toddler bed now, so we've got the cot there for her as well. But we were hoping to be moved and everything before it got here, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It's taking forever for the council to offer the house and half my living room is food boxes, because I was packing stuff away so that if we do get a house, we just tell, here's the keys, and then straight change, that's it. So I haven't even told you his name yet. So my son's name is Zander Boor. So I think I've told you a couple of videos ago that my code passed at the end of the year, and that his name was Alexander, and we called him Uncle Zander. So me and John thought we'd come after a uncle, and we thought we'd just call him Zander instead of Alexander. We just went to Zander. I tried to figure out if I've left anything else out. His weight when he was born was £2 12 ounces. Now he's £4 2 ounces. So before we can get him home, he needs to be taking a bottle. So they need to know if he can stick on a bottle or something like that. He needs to have a certain weight limit. I don't know what it is. And he's to be off. I'm hoping he needs to be off the oxygen before he gets home. But not necessarily, you can still come in with oxygen if you're but I just want my boy it's hard. So I need to get my house into order so that I've got room for him. Because obviously I've not got any room in my bedroom anymore. So Laniels will have to sleep in the living room with him. Because I can't even get a wee Moses basket or the wee cot thing that we've got that'll go to the side of the bed. I'm gonna get that into my room now because we've got Paige in our room. So we'll be sleeping in the living room with either Dad or with me. It's just that's bad. And I've even had anything for like going to hospital or anything like that. I got a hospital breast pump home with me, but my auntie paid for a breast pump for myself. And I like that one better, so I'm going to take the other one back to hospital. What other stuff do I need to get? I need to get a stand for Moses' basket. I need to get quite a few real blankets for the Moses basket and sheets and things like that. It just isn't right. So I think just now it's I think we'll get the bus up to the hospital. I need to know either is my mum watching the brain or is my stepmom watching the brain, because of COVID we can't take Paige with us. But if COVID wasn't here and all the rest of it, I would be able to take Paige with me. I wouldn't have to think about somebody to watch her or anything like that. And that's the biggest pain in the backside that there is now, is it's only mums and dads that are loading. It's no, I can't go to my mum and say, you can come in because John's not going to be here, that kind of thing. But no, if John's not there, I have to go myself. And it's a pain in the backside because I stay in here and it's at Crosshouse Hospital, and it's just, we get the bus in the morning, my mum comes and picks us up later that day. We're not even there for that long, we're there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours at most. At the weekend it's less time, because I don't like inconveniencing my mum or my dad. But my dad takes me up on a Saturday, and I feel bad for having to ask him to sit outside so that I can go and see my son. I think go for another month and a half, because it's coming up to the end of August, with through September and then October. I feel my moods up and exactly either. Been up and down, and I'm even paranoid that I'm not making enough milk for him, which I know that I'm making enough. It's just getting your head in that mindset. So I'll be expressing milk until I can't express any more milk for him. So that means that I'll be expressing milk when he comes home, hopefully. But if no, I'll be, by that time, hopefully I'll be allowed to have formula. And the nurses said that he will be able to have formula by then, because his stomach would have been full term by then, basically. So that's how my months went. Scary. But at least we've got him. The scariest thing is, if I never went to my midwife appointment, or if I never had my midwife appointment that day, it could have turned out really bad. Really bad. You don't want to think about it like that, but these things, they come to your mind and play tricks on you. Sometimes you're like, what if that happened, what if this happened? But the thing is, it never did. And you've just got to think, he's here. Every time you phone up to hospital, it's like, he's perfectly fine, he's happy. He's had this, he's feed, he's still back asleep. But I could have still been in the hospital with him, the new, but that first week was murder. He's staying in that hospital, because it's like you're either in with him downstairs, or you go straight upstairs to your room, and you're in your room yourself. Which was hard. Being in a room with yourself, your mind thinking about things, and knowing that at home, Paige was playing up for her dad, playing up for her grandpa, wasn't sleeping. She just knew that something had happened and she never knew what had happened. Because as soon as I got out, she was started going back to sleep normal and all the rest of it. The only thing she hadn't done was she knew there was something the matter with me because she wouldn't climb up on me. She'd always come to the side of me and cuddle me to that side, but never come up and climb up onto me. But she knew, because one minute her mum was there and then the next minute she'd go see her mum for a week. But she's settled now. I knew I had to come home for her. He wasn't perfectly fine, it was just he was getting looked after by the folk that need to look after him. It might sound bad that I wasn't there with him or anything like that, but his midwives or his nurses had him in a routine, had them. I wasn't wanting to change that routine or anything because by the time he gets home it'll all change anyway. So subscribe if you want. Put a wee thumbs up and leave a comment or give me advice for when if premature mums are watching this. Give me some advice, something that you done or what you need to think to get through it, because I'm finding it hard here. I really don't want to go back into being depressed or all the rest of it. I'm trying not to. But it's hard, really hard. And I'll see you next time. And I don't know what I'll be doing, because I don't know when I'll be cooking again. I just don't know. Life's at the moment is really the unknown, because I don't know what I'm doing for the next day to hours. So I'll see you when I see you. I'm sorry it's been this long. It's just this the only time I've been able to sit down and have this conversation. So I'll see. Keep on saying I'll see you.